What's going on, you guys? It's me, AnarchYxNinja. We just joined into this game late, but it is Galactic Assault. We're gonna try to turn the tide here. We're on Oregon servers because ever since Andor came out, people have been playing on Oregon servers. People in Oregon love Andor. If you do a poll, they're gonna love it. And they can try to lie, nah, I don't love it, but it got you back on Battlefront, which means deep down, you like Andor. Speaking of Andor, that will be coming out tomorrow. When this goes up, basically Andor will already be out, or about to come out, so yeah. So next video we'll be talking about Andor. Hopefully it's good. My gut take going into it, I feel like this one's going to be better, this set of 3 episodes. I think it's going to be better, because the first one, it was good, but it wasn't like good, you know, like it was like, this is good, I can watch it. But I don't feel like they had any super big moments where I feel like they're not going to do 6 episodes technically in a row. I don't think they're going to do that. We're going to start getting into the juicier topics. My gut is telling me we're going to see K2SO. Again, I haven't seen any like coming up next stuff. I don't watch that stuff, so maybe they showed it in the trailer for next episode. I don't know. My gut is telling me though if K2SO is going to be in this one. They're going to try to implement him to try to boost it up a little bit. You know, that's my gut. I could be completely wrong. Oh, okay, there's just 1,000 dudes here. Bro, I've been playing War Thunder, homie. I'm not ready to be shooting at y'all. You need to calm down, dude. Kill the wall. Oh, and he shot me in my eye. Well, the problem is we got here late, so we're not getting heroes most likely, unless we get really lucky, but hopefully we get lucky. Since we got here late, hopefully we can keep this into 10 minutes, or get it to 10 minutes. Hopefully in Battlefront 3, that's never coming. Hopefully we actually can spawn on teammates. That would be lovely. So we don't have to run out of the spawn every time. It would be fantastic. Watch that card's ladder. And again, I never name drop other Battlefront YouTubers. Well, he's not really a Battlefront. That's Star Wars YouTuber. But he was saying it's time to get a Battlefront 3. But like, man, I agree, but I feel like we could have a conversation on why that ain't happening. I'm sure he understands that too, but I wish, man, but he's not wrong. We have not had a good Star Wars multiplayer in so long. They are not capitalizing on the Star Wars gaming license well at all, especially when you factor in multiplayer. Single player, you got some good ones out. You know, Jedi Survivor, you know, that series of games is good, but when it comes to multiplayer, this is the last one, really. And they just don't do it. They just don't do it. I just don't understand, man. I really don't. I know it had backlash. Wow, that guy got sniped with a shotgun, but it's just sad, man. It's just sad. I'm not even talking from a personal standpoint, like the channel's dead because that's all you guys watch. I'm not even talking about it from that. Just in terms of them, like, they need to just make a Star Wars multiplayer game, man. How do you not? Like, it's just, I don't know how they personally can fail this bad and then still have a job, to be honest. Just saying. He's much nicer than I am when I talk. He has stuff to lose. His channel's still successful. Mine's not. I could just roast these dudes all day, but I'm trying to do it the nice way. But really, man, I just don't see how Star Wars gaming in general can fail this hard and not like have any repercussions, I guess you could say, from on high. But to be fair, it might be the people on high who are messing it up too. So that's probably why there ain't no repercussions. Like, oh, I messed up, but I'm gonna blame everybody else, and I ain't gonna punish myself. I don't know. And then like they were talking about in the video, he was talking about like how they didn't have the limitations. I'm not wording it right, so watch his video if you want to get it. But like limitations on like ground to space combat and like the not the system or whatever the game's limitations, they just couldn't make stuff happen. Yeah, I'm not saying I disagree with him, I just disagree with that mindset overall. Like, how do you have ground to space battles in the old Battlefront, right? All those years ago, they did it, I don't want to say flawlessly, I'm sure if you go back you'll find flaws somewhere, right? Nothing's perfect, but how do you do that and then not have it in this game? And then, you know, like, I don't know. I just feel like they kind of been half-assed, to be honest. We've been saying it in regards to a lot of other games. Not so much this game, But it was and we lost, so I don't even know if this is gonna be a video now. Oh man, hopefully we can carry it over to the next game. Maybe we can actually get a hero. But it just feels like to me Star Wars gaming in general is really just half-assing it. They just make the cheapest thing possible, throw it out to make money with a Star Wars name. And the only game I exclude from that is the Jedi Order series. That game, they set out to accomplish a goal and they accomplish it. The rest of them, including Outlaws, is just... I don't know. The best way of describing it's like watching a low-budget movie. Like, the possibilities are there, but they never capitalize on it. Jedi Survivor, they do. With what they want it to be, they set out and they accomplish it. So I can give them credit on that. But other than that, especially when it comes to multiplayer, dude, oh my goodness. I don't know how they failed as bad. I really... It's hard for me to fathom. If you would ask me this when Battlefront 2015 was coming out, like before we even played it, right? Before we even played that game. If you would ask me, would this be the position Star Wars gaming is in 10 years since then? It's about 10 years since that game came out, give or take. There would have been no way, dude. We got new movies coming out. Shows gonna be coming out. This is gonna be awesome for Star Wars. Disney has a lot of money, but it's also Disney. That's the downside. But, you know, at the end of the day, this is what we're left with. They'll make some cheap mobile game or some garbage that nobody really wants to play, but yet when they just talk about a workhorse game like Battlefront 2, for all the flaws this game has, they need to make another game like it, at least, and try to, you know, correct those flaws, of course. Don't have the disastrous launch. Again, he kind of mentioned it. I think it would actually be great to have a conversation with someone like him who does research into topics way more than I do. I just play games, bro. I'm not that dude. But a lot of that backlash, we talked about it. I still might make a video on it where I actually try to do some detail work. I don't know. But a lot of the BF2 backlash was so unjustified and just blown out of proportion. And some of it was just straight up factually incorrect. It doesn't matter if that's your opinion. I hate when people use that, well, that's my opinion. That doesn't mean you're right. Facts are facts, whether your opinion agrees with it or not. And a lot of the stuff, not all of it, but a lot of the stuff that was said for BF2 just, it wasn't accurate. You know, he mentioned in that video the most downvoted Reddit post in history and stuff like that, and a lot of the stuff it was pertaining to, we talked about it recently, where it's just blown out of proportion. It's a misunderstanding. The guy who, the DICE developer who responded, or EA developer, who was it? One of the guys that either EA or DICE responded, and he didn't understand what the comment was saying. He didn't understand what the comments on the comment were saying, and his response just kind of blew everything out of proportion, where he kind of referenced it's pride and accomplishment to unlock a Darth Vader. But, which I agree with, you know, when you have to work to unlock a hero, I agree with it. There should be a sense of pride and accomplishment, and there's nothing wrong with having to unlock a hero, within reason, of course, which, I'm gonna get backlash for this. Was it launched? Like I said, by the end of the beta, I already had enough points to get Vader. You don't need to grind 8,000 hours to get him, so don't give me that garbage. But that wasn't the problem with that comment. They misunderstood the comment, and everybody was talking about it being pay to win. So everybody was misunderstanding. You don't buy Darth Vader with real money. But that's the way the comments on the original Reddit post were taking it. So when the DICE or EA guy, I forgot who off the top of my head, came in and said pride and accomplishment, that just set everyone into a frenzy. But in reality, it's a big misunderstanding. He was not talking about them spending money, real money. He was talking about grinding to unlock Vader with in-game money, which you could very well do. Like I said, I already had the money to do that before the game even came out. So it was just a big misunderstanding. And I wish big YouTubers like that, who actually can dive into this, did a video on it. But I'm not saying him, but a lot of them shy away from the topic, because going against public opinion is never really a good thing, especially when you're successful. I could do it because 4 of you are going to comment on this video and nobody gives a shit about my opinion. I could yell and scream it from the high heavens. That ain't going to matter. But there was so much bullshit that went into Battlefront's launch that just fucked it up, really. And again, they did do stuff wrong. No ifs, ands, or buts. The fans did stuff wrong as well. Nobody ever wants to blame them because the customer's always right, which is complete bullshit. Y'all stupid as fuck sometime, myself included in that statement. But there was just so much stuff that just ruined it. But that's the main reason why you're not getting a Battlefront 3. It didn't get any money after launch because they were planning to get it from loot boxes, which again, that's one of their mistakes right there. They should have planned that very differently, but you know, they sadly didn't. But that's the main reason you're not getting a Battlefront 3 right there. They did not make enough money after launch. And again, every time we have this conversation, you always get the one dumb 13-year-old who only started playing the game after it launched. They should already have enough money with the purchases of the game. No, dude, there's nobody in this world who has enough money. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. No company's like, you know what? We've made enough. Let's not make more. They wanted to see a way to keep making money after launch. And they failed because they should have done it with skins and stuff like that. But they decided to mess up, unfortunately, for all of us. But all the extra backlash where fans just misunderstood. A lot of it was just those same YouTubers, or not YouTubers, excuse me, the same idiots who just jump on and hate EA and they just hate anything. They don't do it with any like expert opinion. They're just there to hate EA, you know. They're on that side. A lot of that in the beginning of Battlefront really did hurt at the end of the day because they help dictate people's opinions. And it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. If you've got enough idiots screaming the same shit, they're gonna bandwagon and, oh, see, he said it too. But it doesn't make you right. A million people can say it and a million people can be wrong. People always act like just public opinion is the only thing that matters. Like, that doesn't make you right if you're all wrong still. And on some of those topics, they were wrong. And they never want to hear it. We always get backlash when we say it. But it would just be nice to get a big YouTuber who actually does a good job, unlike me, go into it and dive into that topic. Because there's so much you could learn from that in terms of games launching and, you know, why Battlefront failed, why we aren't getting Battlefront 3 anytime soon. Why they chose to focus on Battlefield over Battlefront, like at this very moment. They're making Battlefield not Battlefront. So like there's a lot to go into it, and I don't feel like enough, at least not recently anyway, maybe back in the day and just forget, but not enough big YouTubers have delved into that topic really, which would be very interesting, I think. Especially again for those who actually do the research. They bring it up on screen. I don't. I'm just playing video games. But, you know, it was just interesting watching this video on it. Like, man, it's a damn shame we ain't getting Battlefront 3 though. But I agree, it is time. We need to get Star Wars game, dude. Whether it's from DICE or someone else making a game like this, Star Wars as a whole needs to make a multiplayer game that can carry. Whether it's Battlefront 3 or, you know, a different one, but in the same kind of skin, you know? Like, it's a multiplayer shooter, you got heroes. Doesn't have to be Battlefield or Battlefront, excuse me, but, you know, something similar. And the thing he didn't bring up in the video, which is why I wish we were talking, I'm like, what about the big, oh man, I always forget the name. The Epic Games investment they put money into. That's where I guess the next big multiplayer Star Wars game's gonna come from. Which I don't know how excited I am for that. I'm not, you know, I'm not the Fortnite dude. I don't like Fortnite. Wrong Ninja for that. But again, they also, whether you like Fortnite or not, it is massively successful. And one of the main reasons we don't get a Battlefront 3 is because it doesn't make money after launch. Guess what does? Fortnite does. They know how to get money, you know, all them V-Bucks. So that's why Star Wars is going to invest in them, and hopefully it works. But I just don't know if they're going to make a multiplayer game that I find interesting to me personally. And by the time it comes out, this channel will be long gone. I won't even be doing videos by that point, most likely. It's just too long. But that's probably my guess is where the next big multiplayer will come from. Right now, we're going to just get a lot of single player and a lot of, I don't want to say remakes, but, you know, the Battlefront classic type stuff and shit like that, where it's just not really even worth the time to play, to be honest. So, I don't know. But I feel like that's where we're heading for the next while, until Epic Games can get around. And I wish he could talk about it, or other big YouTubers, anyone, take up the challenge and talk about it, dive into it. Like, am I wrong, or did they cancel it and I didn't see that news article or whatever? But that's the last thing I remember hearing, that they put like $1 billion, or there was some big number, I don't remember the exact number. But it was a big investment from Star Wars Gaming into Epic Games to make a Star Wars game, or a series of Star Wars games, maybe even, not just one, but... And they didn't do that to DICE. For everybody's like, we're in Battlefront 3. I know every time we talk about it, someone's always like, why isn't there a Battlefront 3? They're literally working on other games right now. But I know you don't know that because you only ever fucking played Battlefront. But they're literally making Battlefield right now. And they're not stopping making Battlefield so you can get Battlefront 3. Get that out of your head. I wish they would, to be fair, but that ain't happening. But so many Star Wars people, that's all they focus on. Especially a lot of the younger ones. They're just like, why don't we have Battlefront 3? And you know, they just scream it from the high heavens, but there's no rhyme or reason behind it. There's no education behind it. It's just them screaming it. You know, but there's a reason we're not getting it. And that company is already busy working on other ones. That's why we're not getting Battlefront 3 right now. But hopefully, Epic Games can deliver whenever that is. Because I feel like that came out a couple years ago now. Maybe a year or two? I don't know. Whenever that news broke. So, you know, hey, even if they just started then, there's still a long ways to go on this game that would be coming out. But I just hope that Epic Games learn from Battlefront's mistakes and just Star Wars gaming in general's mistakes, not just DICE and EA, but everybody's mistakes. Maybe they could actually get something good made, but I don't know. I just feel like they've wasted gaming time when you consider how many shows have came out. Like Mandalorian 1 and Season 1 and 2 came out in this time, and there was really nothing for it. You know, like we don't got Mando in this game. That's crazy, because he was one of the biggest characters to come out in that time. Ahsoka's the next big show. We don't even have Ahsoka in this game, despite literally wanting her during the trailers before the beta even came out. We wanted Ahsoka, never got it, because the higher ups wanted to get some Disney BB-8 shit in here. You know, like hopefully the higher ups learn. But again, we say that on every topic. Higher ups never learn. I don't even know why we hope it. They're a bunch of fucking dumbasses. But you know, hopefully Epic Games can. You know, and Epic Games does put a lot of their content in there. Frankly, Fortnite gets more Star Wars content than actual Star Wars games nowadays, unfortunately, so. Hopefully greener pastures are ahead, but I don't know, man. I don't know if Epic Games is going to deliver for a game I want. I just picture them too cartoony, but in fairness, I'm just thinking Fortnite, so. You know, I could be completely wrong on that, so hopefully they can deliver. They got a lot of money. Hopefully they can do it. For all Star Wars sake, I hope they can do it, man. Maybe by the time the Rey movie's coming out, I don't even know what year it is, but I feel like it's a couple years away, maybe. Maybe then they'll start doing it, but to be fair, if you want to have the real talk, why are we releasing games around a Rey movie? That seems like a dumb idea. Nobody's that excited for Rey. Even the Disney, oh, I love everything Star Wars, they gotta fucking really dig to try to find some positive stuff in that. They'll tell you they're excited, but, you know, deep down, they just don't want to be seen as the negative Star Wars guys, you know? Like, we're not going to get into that topic, but they're on a team, and they're going to stick on that team no matter what. But nobody that is really that excited for anything Rey, let's just be honest. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. Anyway, they didn't get it. Did we even get a hero? I don't even remember. Hopefully we can get a long overtime here. This wasn't supposed to be just a rant about Battlefront, but I guess it is. We got one now, and we talking about it. They did push by. Took a lot of Grievous's health. Grievous down. Not that I did it, but still. Teamwork. A little better. Did we get a hero? We need somebody for a thumbnail, and I don't remember if we got one, but... Just get Han, whatever. Not that he'll be a good thumbnail, but...
I am not cocky. Who said I was cocky?
I'm cocky. Dang, he's so cocky he couldn't even he didn't even spit it out. I can't even talk. I talk so well, you already know what I'm gonna say. I don't need to make noise, you already know, you know me. Like, I don't think they do, Han. Nobody liked you, unfortunately, in Solo. I did, but not many of us.
Just imagine you're me.
That's the sad part. I really did think he did a good job, too. That's the sad part. Rey killed me. Those pointy little titties got me. I can't even say it. Alright, let's just get a commando. What's the last Star Wars multiplayer game that came out? And I'm talking anything multiplayer. Actually, no, I'm thinking of one. What was the... It looked like a mobile game. Star Wars... Was it Hunters? Like, is that game even still around? I haven't heard anything about that game. Am I mixing it up with another one? Maybe I am. I don't know. But like that, like, for example, that just looked like garbage, to be honest. I don't have a nicer way of saying it, really. But Like, why are you wasting our time with stuff like that? Is more of my opinion on it. Like, y'all need to start making some good shit, dude. You need a mainstay workhorse. Battlefront 2 was that. Battlefront 3 could be, but you never make it. You know, you just need something like that. And avoid the controversy at the beginning. And again, if EA does it, they're going to get controversy. Because let's face it, some of you guys watching this very video are going to be them. You're on a bandwagon and you're going to hate it. Not that you ever agree when I say that, but you are. Some of you, not all of you. You know who you are. There's going to be people who, no matter what, they're going to hate it. You know, it's like, we just need to not listen to them, honestly. The company needs to not listen to them. And sadly, now it just seems like that's all that gets listened to. The loud idiots are the ones who get listened to, not the ones who actually know what they're talking about. That's how it goes, unfortunately. Part of life. You disrupted me, sir. Oh, now I can shoot? Okay, didn't let me switch. I don't know what's going on. Doesn't matter anyway. This is the most random video I've ever did, because it really wasn't supposed to be a conversation, but that's how little research I do beforehand. I just like, we're gonna just start ranting. We're gonna talk for 20 minutes or whatever this video is. No papers, no notes. We're just going off the top of the head. We're winging it. That's why none of it ever makes sense. There's no cohesion. It's just everything's randomly there. I'm gonna talk about titties randomly, and then all of a sudden we're gonna go back to the game. You know, it's just that's why nobody watches. Or one of the many reasons. we ain't got no order here. We just get on and talk. But anyway, I somehow hope you managed to find this conversation interesting.
That's it, then.
And again, next video will be after Andor comes out. Hopefully I'll watch all 3 episodes before then, or maybe, I don't know, we'll just see. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.